Are you a freelancer who is still trying to decide on a niche, or perhaps you are interested in switching things up into something that is either more fulfilling, more lucrative, or more in alignment with your skill set? Either way, we are talking about what is in demand in 2023 when it comes to freelancing. Stick around. Now, before we dive into the most in-demand niches of 2023, it is important that we acknowledge that, yes, I am back in my office, also known as the basement, also known as the thing that flooded 2 days before Christmas, which is why the last few months of videos have been taking place inside my kitchen. So we can all just namaste. It is so great. It is so good to be back. And it's great to be back here with you. I have 4 different niches that I'm going to break down in today's video. But first, it's really important to note a pro tip, which is that it is not worth it to dive into a niche just because it's in demand. You want to have the trifecta, meaning there's a market for it, which is why we're making this video. But also, it's in alignment with your interests as well as your skill sets, your strengths. If you want to see what I mean by this trifecta, when it comes to picking the best niche for you, make sure you check out this video when you're done here, because again, you will not be satisfied. You will not have fulfilling work. It probably won't even work out very well if you try to force something just because I bring it up in this video and tell you that there are a lot of entrepreneurs looking to hire for this. Okay, now that we have all that self-assessment stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the first of our 4 niches, which is in demand in 2023. The first is something that I love to talk about. It is not brand new, but the demand is continuing to grow, and the demand for people who are actually good at this job is also very, very high. And I know this because of my own entrepreneur peer group. I know this from other people that I've been talking to, what people are hiring for, what people are having trouble keeping somebody in a role for because they're not a good fit or they're not meeting expectations. And that is the role of a community manager. Now, I'm not just talking about somebody who accepts people into a Facebook group when I talk about a community manager. This is like the heart and soul of a business, because it might be a paid community like a membership, which if you haven't caught on online, that's kind of the offer of the year. That's like the flavor of the month. Sometimes it lasts longer than a year. Everybody's starting a monthly membership. Why? Because it's recurring revenue. It is a very popular business model right now, and it comes with a built-in community aspect for most offers and most entrepreneurs. And as a membership grows to hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people, it is essential that there's somebody in place that's helping with the things happening inside of that paid community. Things like onboarding, making sure that right out the gate, people have a really positive experience and they know where and how to find and access the materials that they need from the membership. Things like retention, which is keeping people in the monthly membership, making sure they know what their, client trajectory is. How do they grow? How do they know that they're making progress? And yes, of course, all of those back end things like getting accepted and the logistics, like what we think about when accepting somebody into a Facebook group. It's really important to have somebody that understands mission of the community, that is going to be there and keep things feeling safe for the members and really contribute to the entrepreneur. Again, not just from like the checking a box, they got in, they got onboarded standpoint, but from really contributing to the bottom line by making sure that the attrition rate is very low and that retention is very high and that people are getting the results that are promised by the membership. But community managers can also be really helpful when it's not a paid offer, like a membership. Like it could be a free Facebook group, and that's amazing. And even then, this is somebody who is representing a company. It's somebody who, is a people person. You know how to talk to people. Again, you make things feel safe. You're not a salesperson. We'll talk about that here in a minute. You are really someone to represent the brand, keep people happy, keep them moving and progressing, and make sure that their needs are being met in a timely manner in the same way that, anybody else in the community would want to be served by the entrepreneur who's bringing them in to that brand. Work as a community manager is one part technical. You've got to have the basic skills to manage wherever the community is being held, whether it's a free location like a Facebook group or a paid location like our membership we run on school. So there is a technical aspect, but it's also a very people-oriented position. And it's very, very helpful if not only do you have those relationship skills, but you also need to understand basic marketing and sales. While you're not a salesperson, you need to know the customer journey and how and when it's time to grow someone from this level to the next level. And that requires a little bit of savvy when it comes to marketing and sales. Also, when you're looking at things like retention or attrition, it's really important that you can speak to those numbers. You will have KPIs most likely as a community manager. That's key performance indicators about how you're performing in relation to the growth of that community. A couple of my favorite resources when it comes to memberships, community managers, and just supporting and growing communities in general, which is something I'm very passionate about at the Free Mama. Our entire business model is based around the community of the Free Mama movement. Shout out to the Facebook group. If you're not already in it, we'd love to see you there. We model some of these principles we've talked about today. But Stu McLaren is kind of the membership guy. Shanna Bresnahan used to work for Stu. She now is a consultant on her own, and she is known as the community gal. Like, these are two amazing resources. So you can Google them, you can go check them out. And these are people to learn from if community management is something that you are interested in pursuing. Okay, the second most in demand niche for 2023 is a YouTube manager. Hi, Sam. Shout out to my YouTube manager. You can actually go watch our interview about YouTube management right over here. She's a great resource. We had a lovely conversation about how we collaborate, what goes into YouTube management. But the reason that this is so important is because while other platforms are constantly playing the algorithm game, constantly making creators and entrepreneurs guess about what's going to be seen, what's going to attract their ideal audience, YouTube is the only platform that actually pays creators consistently to produce. They get rewarded for putting out high quality information right here on YouTube. This is something that entrepreneurs are finally recognizing and flocking to. Plus, whatever's going on with TikTok and the government and people watching and whatever, we have YouTube Shorts now. People are coming back to this channel, meaning YouTube, because they feel safe here and they can still get both the long form tutorials like this, as well as the short form content that we've grown accustomed in this post-COVID short attention span day and age. You can monetize this by helping creators and entrepreneurs such as myself with YouTube. So whether, again, that's editing something in kind of that TikTok real YouTube short fashion, repurposing content into short form, helping produce these long form videos, making them spicy and crunchy so that they're dynamic and they're edited and all these cool things to keep people's attention, that is a skill set. So if you like doing things with video, if you like coming up with ideas, if you like doing research, if you like editing, if you like adding any sort of creative or visual flair or helping people produce storylines, there's so many different things that you can bring to the table as a YouTube manager. So again, go check out my interview with Sam, who's on my team as a YouTube manager. You can learn more about this niche, but it's not going away. We're going to see more and more entrepreneurs coming back home to YouTube. Okay, the third most in-demand niche for 2023 is social selling, sales in general, a salesperson, even a setter. Now, if you're Facebook DMs and Instagram DMs look anything like mine, you are probably getting bombarded regularly by setters. Now, this can be really spammy. So I'm not going to pretend like this is something that I'm going to just go encourage you to do. What I will tell you is there's a huge opportunity here. So if you love talking to people, if you love outreach, and by the way, this kind of outbound marketing, this is being done on LinkedIn. This is like not exclusive to sending icky Facebook messages at all. Those people are doing it wrong. There is a right way to do outreach. And so just to kind of define these terms, a setter is going to be somebody who's really just seeing who's raising their hand about something. A social seller or a salesperson is going to be somebody who's going to get on a Zoom call or they're going to get on a phone call and they're actually going to sell a product or service. If you have any type of sales background, Sales is what makes business go round. This is a niche that will never go out of business, but it will continue to evolve as consumers change. So, like I mentioned, those icky messages on Facebook, there are people who definitely do this wrong. But if we look at people doing outbound marketing on LinkedIn, I actually have a student in our Freedom Founder program that is doing tremendously well in a very male dominated professional niche, totally different from internet marketing and business coaches and courses and all of this stuff. So every business is run by sales. If you like talking to people, if you are confident and comfortable selling things, this niche is not only popular in 2023, but it will never go away. It will just continue to evolve. So what's really cool about it is you can earn commissions, meaning you don't really have like a ceiling on your earning potential based on market demand. It's really dependent on how successful you are. So again, if that's something that appeals to you, I highly recommend getting in the game. Last but not least is an executive assistant. Now, don't get confused. I am all about the free mama lifestyle. That means I want freedom of time and location. And that's why a lot of free mamas start as virtual assistants. A lot of the videos on this channel are geared towards becoming a virtual assistant because it's the lowest barrier for entry. No matter where in the world you live, it is the fastest path to getting paid to do work online, which is really exciting. Something I see a lot, though, especially post-COVID, where businesses who maybe were traditional brick and mortar, or they were just more traditional businesses, everybody had to learn to be online. And so there's a lot of people out there looking for EAs or executive assistants. This might be a more corporate or professional type of company structure or role, or the CEO, the position that you're going to be reporting to. However, again, kind of post 2020, this can still be done completely remotely, meaning you can be anywhere in the world. You can be in bed with your socks on. You can be in your basement that just got remodeled after the flood. You can be on an RV trip. It doesn't matter as long as you know how to serve that entrepreneur. In order to be an executive assistant, it's kind of the same as a virtual assistant, except a lot of times as an EA, you can actually get paid more by having more of a, kind of full-time capacity for a higher earning CEO. It's going to require more of your time and energy to serve that person at a really high capacity. So think we're not just answering emails. We're not just responding to appointments. We might be booking travel. We might be having some like research on behalf of that person, but you need to be someone who is loyal. You need to be incredibly responsive and trustworthy. But again, a good EA, someone is going to want to take care of. They're going to have you on their team for a really, really long time. And you kind of become that right-hand person that really supports the CEO or entrepreneur with all the back end of things that they're doing, with all of the balls that they're constantly juggling. There's usually room for growth in this type of role. If you want to transition into an online business manager, you want to manage other people, maybe you want to assist with hiring at some point in the future as well. So there is sort of a path to growth here as an executive assistant. But again, just paying attention to that little nuance and what people are looking for and the types of business owners you're networking with can open up a whole new world of possibilities when it comes to your online business. Okay, those are the 4 in-demand niches that I am seeing for 2023. This is based on where my own business is heading. This is also based, again, on my own peer group, what I see people hiring for, what the need is. Need meaning they can't even fill it, which means if you can figure out how to do it and you can get connected with the right people through your networking and you're looking for these opportunities, you can have an incredibly prosperous virtual business in 2023. I hope that you stick around on this channel. We've got some exciting things coming up, especially when it comes to discovery calls. So that's your own sales conversation with people who are hiring freelancers and looking to outsource and making sure that you are making a good first impression and earning that work and making sure that you're taking the time to have sales calls with people who are actually ready to hire you. So go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to see you in the upcoming weeks. Again, welcome to FreeMamaTV. I can't wait to see you soon. Whatever's going on with TikTok, but that's not what I was going to say. But first, it's really, I was about to get distracted because I think we have a million videos on niches. Oh my gosh, niche. That's the video I wanted to point out. We can put it in the bloopers.